I didn't wake up and magically just fix my life. I wasn't suddenly more disciplined or more motivated, but I started making few small changes, very small, very slowly, and my life began to feel different. If you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just a little off lately, this video is for you. Let's talk about simple changes that quietly improved my life. Hi, my name is Indy Freke. You can call me Indy. Welcome to my channel. If you're seeing my face for the first time, I highly recommend that you subscribe. On this channel, we talk about self-growth, personal development, mindset, and self-care. Sometimes I share bits of my life as a solo mom. Today's video is very important to me because I want to share these small, realistic changes that quietly improved my life without burnout, without pressure, and without trying to become a completely different person overnight. Let me be honest with you. I used to think improving my life had to be very loud and dramatic. You know those advice that we see that you have to wake up at 5 a.m., change your entire routine, and become a different human being in 30 days. That's how I used to think about it. Maybe that works for some people, but for many of us, especially as busy women, that kind of pressure is just too exhausting. What actually started changing my life was small realistic shifts, the kind I could keep doing even on my low energy days. So if you're feeling like you need a reset, but you don't have the energy for extreme life overhauls, this is for you. Change 1, moving your bodies even on low days. I know I talk about moving your body a lot, but the truth is it can never be overemphasized on. The first change for me was this. I started moving my body even when I didn't feel like it. And let me be clear on this. I did not suddenly become a gym girl overnight. No, it didn't happen like in a blink of an eye. Some days it was short work. Some days I would stretch in my room. Some days I would dance in my living room to my favorite music or any playlist at all. And to be very honest, there were some days that it was just about me breathing and resetting my body. What actually changed everything for me was this mindset shift. I stopped waiting to feel motivated and I started asking myself, what is the smallest movement I can do today? Because the truth is, movement is not just about weight or fitness. Movement affects your mood, your clarity, your stress level, and even your confidence. And listen, consistency will always beat intensity every single time. Change number 2 is protecting my peace, which is less oversharing. The second thing that quietly improved my life was talking less about my plans. I used to be very excited about sharing everything, every idea, every move, every goal. But I started noticing something. Not everyone can hold your dreams properly. Some people will project their fears onto you, and that doesn't come from a place of jealousy or they do not like you. It just comes from a place of their own personal experience. Some people will doubt you out loud. You know those ones that say you can't do it, and that will now put what fear into you. And some people, not even intentionally, do not have the emotional capacity to support what you're building. So I learned to move quieter, not in a secretive way, but in a protective way. These days, I focus on doing the work first and letting the results speak later. Privacy isn't punishment. Sometimes it's protection. Change number 3, fixing my mornings, peace over perfection. The third shift was fixing my mornings gently, not perfectly. I didn't just wake up and build some strict 10-step routine. No, I simply started making my mornings less chaotic. There is this thing I do with my alarm. I set my alarm for 5 a.m., 5:30, 6 a.m., 6:30, and lastly 7 a.m. When my alarm rings at 5 o'clock, I don't wake up. I'm awake, but I'm not out of my bed. I turn it off. It rings again at 5:30. I turn it off. It rings again at 6:30. I turn it off. At 6 o'clock, and I turn it off. That is when I gradually wake up. I realized over time that every time my alarm rings and I wake up immediately, I have headache the entire day. So what I now do is I practice slow morning intentionally. When my alarm rings, I wake up, I'm awake, but I'm not out of my bed. I let my body wake up naturally and gradually on its own. And I have realized that this sets the tone for my day every single time. Another thing, I don't just wake up and I go to my phone. I give myself a moment. Believe me not, between the hours of my alarm ringing at 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., I'm just on my bed doing nothing. Next, I started drinking water first thing in the morning. And honestly, this is not me saying that when I wake up in the morning, I drink water and I stretch. No. Some days I would wake up and the first thing I'll do is stretch. Some days I wake up and the first thing I do is drink warm water. And some days I would wake up and the only thing and first thing I'll do is just to be still and allow myself enjoy the quietness of the moment before the day starts pulling at me. After practicing this lifestyle for a while, I noticed that my day started to feel very differently, positively of course, when my morning started very peacefully. Your mornings doesn't have to look perfect, it just has to feel better than chaos. Change number 4, financial self-respect. Now, this one was a big girl shift for me, financial self-respect. I started taking my finances very seriously, and it wasn't from a place of fear, but from a place of future love for myself. I became more intentional about saving. I started thinking long-term instead of short-term comfort. I began learning about slow, steady investing, even small amounts. For example, if you cannot get like house or landed properties, you can start looking at things like gold investment, because these are ways to store value long term. So if you don't have money to buy a house, you can start buying gold. And let me tell you something, there's a quiet confidence that comes when you know you are financially responsible for your own life. Sister to sister, soft life is not just about vibes and aesthetics. It's also about financial wisdom and discipline. Change number 5, posting even when scared. Yes, I'm talking about social media. I'm talking about the creative side of me. Another thing I had to outgrow was hiding my content because of the fear of judgment. I would always think, is it good enough? Does it meet the standard of Instagram? Does it meet the standard of YouTube? I would overthink so many things before posting anything. Sometimes I end up not even posting it at all. But then I realized something very freeing. People will judge you whether you post or you don't. People will always have something to say about the way you look, about the way your contents look. You might as well just do it. I had a mindset shift about this. One day I just woke up and I'm like, what if I post and I fail? And on the other hand, I'm like, what if I post and I succeed? And I don't want to live my life always thinking that maybe if I had, I would have. It's better to try and fail than not to try at all. So I came to the conclusion that my voice, your voice, our journey, our presence deserves space too in the social media world. Change number 6, choosing gentle discipline. This next shift changed me in ways I didn't expect. I stopped bullying myself into growth. I used to think that discipline had to be harsh, that I had to push myself aggressively every single day. Real life doesn't work like that, especially for women like myself who are balancing so many roles. Some days your body will be high, some days your body will need rest, some seasons will be slower than others. And I learned to work with myself instead of constantly fighting myself. You don't have to suffer or be too hard on yourself just because you want to improve your life. Change number 7, checking it with myself. And the last one, the quiet one that tied everything together, was learning to check in with myself very often. Not just pushing through life on autopilot, but actually pausing and asking myself, how am I really doing? What I'm doing at this moment doesn't make me feel good. Am I happy doing it? Am I okay? Like listening to my body, like, am I really okay? By doing this, it brought me emotional awareness, quiet reflection, and deep self-honesty. Sometimes we are not just tired, we are overwhelmed. And sometimes we are not just stuck, but we are avoiding something that we need to face. And when you start being gently honest with yourself, your decisions starts to change. Self-awareness is uncomfortable sometimes, but it's incredibly freeing. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, is this: big life changes don't always come in big dramatic action. Sometimes they come from a small shift you repeat consistently and patiently. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this gentle reminder. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.